Okay, so let's put this into context, guys. This is it. This is it now. No more false dawns. No more false starts. This has to be it. This is the beginning of a period for this club that is season defining. That is going to kind of decide, I think, not only what happens this season, but the futures of a number of players at this club. We look at the fixtures up until I think it's the 2nd of January. Yeah, the 2nd of January when we play Kilmarnock before the winter break. And this is absolutely season defining. These next 7 games are going to really decide for me what season this is going to be. Is this a season where we are genuinely going to put trophies back in the cabinet, that we are genuinely going to progress in Europe, that we are going to show some progress, and that we are going to finally get back to being Rangers as Rangers should be? This is a great club. This is one of the greatest clubs in Europe. This is one of the biggest clubs in Europe. This is one of the most tremendous clubs in Europe. And it should be up there every season, domestically and in European terms, competing. And I know in Europe it's tough. I get that. I understand the money in Scotland is nowhere near what it is in the EPL, in the Bundesliga, the Liga, etc., etc. But we've always prided ourselves on competing, producing players, of coaching players, of getting standards from players that makes teams fearful to come to Glasgow, that makes them scared of turning up at Ibrox because of the atmosphere, the intensity of the game, because of the passion of the players and the passion of the fans. And we need to get back to that. This is what it's all about at the end of the day. Now, today is Monday. Yesterday's Sunday. Well, we saw that lot from across the city slip up. They lost 2-1 at Kilmarnock, and this league is still here. It's still on. Now, if I'd said to you after the Aberdeen game where we lost at home 3-1, which was ultimately the downfall of Michael Beale, that we would be in a position come the 30th of December to, really overtake them and put them in a position where they won't be top of the league, that we could be top of the league going into the new year, that we could have won the League Cup, that we could have been in the knockout stages of the Europa League, you probably would have laughed at me and said, you've gone utterly bonkers, Owen. You've lost the plot. That is just not possible. But Philippe Clement has got a tune out of these players. Philippe Clement has, I think, done a fantastic job with what he has got. Now, is this squad outstanding? No, it is not. Does this squad have weaknesses? Yes, it does. Does this squad have the talent of old squads of old of this from this club? No, it does not. But Clement is getting a tune out of them. He is motivating them to perform to a level. Is there still a worrying slips in their bottle, in their mentality at times? Yes, there is. You've only got to look at the Petodry game to see that. I mean, what's kind of made all this a little bit more annoying is if you look at that league table, you add on, say, 2 more points going into that game from the Petodry game. If we'd won that Aberdeen game, we'd be on 39 points now, only 3 points behind them with a game in hand. Win the game in hand, we're level on points going into that Old Firm game. So it does make it that slight bit more annoying, that mentality slip, that's inability to perhaps really play up to the standards required when they're under pressure has been a worry. And it is a worry. Of course, going to these next 7 games, it is a worry. And this week is massive. As I've said on every video I've done so far, this week is huge for the club. Huge. Betis on Thursday, cup final on Sunday. Massive. 2 wins, and we're in the knockout stages of the Europa League, and we've got our first piece of silverware. I think it would be wrong to underestimate the lift that would give this club again, that would show that we are back on track, that we are pushing forward, that we are moving in the right direction. And that's what we need to do. Of course, there are concerns going into these games of injuries. No Raskin, no Jack, no Danilo, no Lawrence. Multiple players in key positions missing through injury. The European squad decimated by injury and decimated by the decisions of a former manager that have left it in a position where it is going to be down to the bare bones, and the choice for Clement is very limited. It's these experienced players and then these youth players, because that's the rules of the competition. And also the fallacy and the ridiculousness of Michael Beale and his selections for that European squad. I think we've got to kind of realise, and Michael Beale has got to realise that he has set this club back, that he has led this club backwards, that it is now Philippe Clement that is leading this club back towards that horizon, delivering it, moving it forward towards that promised land. Still unbeaten under Clement. Have the performances all been fantastic? No, of course they haven't, but they never are going to be. But have they showed character at times in recent weeks? Yes, they have. The Hearts game, a defensive backs to the wall performance when it shouldn't have been, realistically. We should have taken our chances and put Hearts to bed. The Dundee game in the second half, when Sifu's obviously sent off wrongly, in my opinion. I know everyone agrees with that, but again, character to get through that, fight to get through that, bottle to get through that. And, a number of players for me have stepped up, really stepped up. Jack Butland, outstanding, absolutely outstanding. Brilliant. Abdallah Sima, phenomenal. John Lundstrom, someone I have absolutely slaughtered in the past. John, I'm sorry, you've been brilliant these last few weeks. Absolutely fantastic. Real praise for you. You've done really, really well. You've led the team. You've shown leadership, and that's what we need. Yes, it's not perfect. Of course it isn't. But I'll tell you this, if these players were perfect, they wouldn't probably be playing for us. They'd probably be playing for top 4 EPL clubs. That's just who it is. That's just how it is. That's just the fact of it. But this week is huge. This next month is massive for this club. You look at that on paper, and I'll be honest with you, Rangers, as a Rangers fan with expectations, as a Rangers fan that knows what this club can be, there should be 7 victories there for us. 7 wins. Can Philippe Clement get us to those 7 wins? Yes, of course Philippe Clement can get us to those 7 wins. Can he engineer this team to be in a position to succeed in those 7 games? Yes, I believe in Philippe Clement. If Michael Beale had still been the manager, I wouldn't have believed in 7 wins. No way, shape or form would I have believed in 7 wins. But with Philippe Clement in place, I believe in 7 wins. I believe that there will be a magnificent 7 for us come the 3rd of January. And that we'll be in a position to really, really say to Celtic, you ain't winning anything this season. We're taking the lot. And we're putting you back in your box, back in your place, and taking the city back. The city that's ours. It's our city. We're the most successful team in football. 55 league titles, the most successful team in Scotland. You look at those games upcoming. Yes, on paper, the toughest game there is the Betis game away. Betis are 7th in La Liga. They held Real Madrid to a draw. They're a very good side. Rangers' record in Spain is what it is. But you know what? Records are there to be broken. Records are there to be overturned. Records are there to be smashed up. Why can't that change on Thursday? Why can't it change? I know we've all got doubts. Yeah, of course we've all got doubts. We've all got doubts about this team. We've all got doubts about these players to some degree. But does that help realistically? Does it help the players? Does it help us? No, it doesn't help us, does it really? Yes, there are players on this team that I do not rate in the slightest, that I don't think should wear a Rangers shirt. Of course there are. But it's about getting the team selection right. It's about putting the players in the right place. It's about putting round pegs in round holes and square pegs in square holes. Have we got the talent to win these next 7 games? Yeah, of course we have. Jack Butland, John Lundstrom, Todd Cantwell, Abdallah Sima. There are players, Ross McCausland. There are players out there with the talent, the ability to win these games for us. You look at that potential 3 behind the main striker. Look, I know Cyril Dessers is a pretty awful striker, a very average striker. I mean, look at his stats from Saturday. 38% pass completion accuracy, which is just appalling. His passing is appalling. 38%. That's Sunday League. 1 out of 5 shots on target. Fortunately, the one that went in. But yes, not all these players are perfect. But you look at those 7 games, and I'm not being funny, but Betis, yes, Betis is the toughest one. But you look at the next 6. Aberdeen in the Cup final. Are Aberdeen a world beater, a top team? No, they are not. Have we got more quality than Aberdeen? Yes, of course we've got more quality than Aberdeen. Even with this squad, we've got more quality than Aberdeen. So yeah, that's a game we should be winning. That first trophy should be in the cabinet by 5 o'clock on Sunday. Then St Johnstone. St Johnstone down the bottom of the league. It's at Ibrox. Yes, of course we should be winning that game. Motherwell near the bottom of the league. Again, of course we should be winning that game. Ross County at home at Ibrox. It's Ibrox. It's Ross County, for God's sake. We're Rangers. Celtic away is tough. Yes, of course it's tough to go to Sharkhead. Of course it's tough to go to the Piggery. But at the end of the day, that is a game we should be winning. A game we should be going there and laying down a marker. I don't care that it's Celtic. I don't care that we won't have any fans there. I don't give a monkeys about any of that. All those players have got to do on the day is turn up, play to their potential, follow their manager's instructions. This is not a good Celtic team. This Celtic team is not Ange Postecoglou's Celtic. This is not the relentless winning machine of Ange Postecoglou. This is a poor team. This is a poor Celtic team. Okay? I'm not saying we're a great team. Of course we aren't, but we can put them to the sword. Then, obviously, the January transfer window opens. Chance to get in the striker that Philippe Clement wants. Chance to perhaps get in a left back, a winger, which is all players we need. Kilmarnock at home. Yes, Kilmarnock have beaten us at Rugby Park. Yes, they've beaten Celtic at Rugby Park on that garbage pitch of theirs. But this is Ibrox. This is Ibrox. This is our home. This is our fortress. This is our castle. Okay, this is a game we need to win. So why can't we win those next 7 games? For me, there's no reason why we can't win those next 7 games. For me, the only game that slightly worries me is the Betis game, because it's Betis. They're a good side. They're 7th in La Liga. They held Real Madrid. They've got some very talented players, more talented than any of those SPL teams that we'll face, more talented than Real Betis would smash Celtic, right? Because we all know how bad Celtic are in Europe. But look, this is about now getting back to the fact that there has to be no more false dawns. There has to be no more what ifs. There has to be no more sitting there going, well, what if we'd beaten Aberdeen? What if we'd not dropped those points there? What if that ball had gone in the net? What if we'd not conceded that goal? That ends. It has to end. After this weekend, after the way this weekend went. And what I saw this weekend was a Rangers team winning. Rangers team winning with spirit, with a bit of fight and a bit of bottle at the end there to hold on against. Yes, it was only Dundee, but then that shows that lot from across the city. We ain't going anywhere. We've got it. We've got something this season. We've got a manager, a real manager who can motivate, who can push us forward, and it put pressure on them. And we saw the effect that pressure had today on them. Like I said on the videos yesterday, this Celtic team have never had to work with that pressure from us. This Celtic team have never had to put up with that. And for the first time in a long time, they're getting it. And they're not dealing with it. And that's why, for me, it's got to be no more false dawns, no more, saying, what if? It's got to be, we go from here, we push from here, and we become like the Rangers of old. We become that machine that reels off 12, 15, 18 victories, not just 2 and 3 here and then slips up there and 4 here and then loses that, then drops some points there. Cannot happen. Cannot happen. Now, guys, I know there's not a lot of news in this morning's video. I wanted to sort of talk to you about how I'm feeling, what the feelings are for this team, and what we need to succeed to do over the next few weeks, and how big this period is for this club. It's massive. It's massive. It's huge. And this is going to be season defining. Up until the 2nd of January, season defining. Those 7 games, win those 7 games. And I'll tell you something, the second half of the season will look exceptionally promising. Well, guys, thank you so much for watching Glasgow Rangers Nation. And as always, guys, we will be back with some news videos. I will put a news video out later on today. So please look out for that. But like I said, I just want to do something different this morning to talk a little bit about this club and what we need to do and how it is looking at this moment in time. I love this club. I love this club. It's in my blood. It's in every breath that I take. It is everything. And when they win, I'm happy. And when they're sad, when they lose, I'm sad and I'm miserable. That's my family. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Please hit that sub, ring that notification bell. Come and join the channel, guys. It is free. We don't hide behind a Patreon paywall. We are free. So please do that. Obviously, we've got podcasts this week, live streams this week. Please check them all out. Guys, we are Rangers. Never forget that. And on the way out, if you can do me 2 favors. Number 1, smash the like. And number 2, please remember, never forget, we are the people.